Hello to all you Capricorns, hello and welcome to this yearly horoscope of 2013. What is going to happen for Capricorns and for the year ahead. So I will be looking at the planets as from Jupiter until Pluto, in what kind of houses they are transiting, if there is any aspect forming. And of course, I'm going to take a close look to what your ruler Saturn is going to do. Now, first of all, for every sign and also for Capricorn, 2013 is going to be a year of fulfilling in an expansive way. And something that will happen around the middle of the year for all of us in the areas that I'm going to talk about in a minute, that have to do with expansion, and that have to do with things that we have been wanting to accomplish for a long time. Now let's start with your sign Capricorn, with Pluto in it. Of course, next year, so 2013, Pluto will still be in Capricorn and will still square up to Uranus. So that aspect is for the whole year. Now, the very interesting thing is that Jupiter plays a very significant role during June, July, August of the year, because it's going to trigger the square of Pluto-Uranus. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But first of all, Pluto in your sign, of course, we must have heard that hundreds of times when you're listening to astrology reports or whatever, that it is about transformation of yourself. It's about huge transformations, not just changing clothes or changing even a job within the same company. No, it's huge transformation. Changing a profession or changing residence, or deep changes, or changing a relationship. So for Capricorns, especially for those who have an ascendant or personal planets around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 degrees, if you've got planets in there, then you will sense this Pluto-Uranus, what I'm going to talk about, very, very much. And especially around the middle of next year until August. But even if you're just a Capricorn having it in 20 degrees of Capricorn, you still feel that energy. That energy of, it's a huge opportunity if you have Pluto in your sign. It's a huge opportunity to become so true to yourself, to show all the potential that is in you, because that's actually Pluto in the first house. You have the power. Pluto, the power is with you, rather than it is with another person or at work. It is with you. So and that is already pointing me to the advice that I want to give you, is that especially with Jupiter that is going to come into the picture, to not and I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but that's really an advice of not trying to do it your way, as my way is the highway, and considering other people. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to consider other people, then you are certainly going to benefit from these aspects that I'm going to talk about. So Pluto is in your first, Uranus is squaring up to it in your fourth house, and Uranus is in the area of your life that has to do with your core, with what you are all about. Or another level, your house, actually. So for a lot of Capricorns, it could mean a move in 2013. It could mean a move because of work, or it could mean a move because of another person coming into your life. They will come live with you, or you are going to live with them. If it's not that case, you could renovate. If it's not the case, it could simply mean that there is a lot of restlessness going on deep down inside of you. And it is just because you have to know who you really are all about. So it's about freeing you up and showing who you really are, and not being afraid of that. You know, not being considering too many people of what are they going to say. That's a bit Uranus in the fourth house. So that's the whole flavor for the whole year, that Pluto-Uranus square. But what is happening with Jupiter? Jupiter has been for a long time and still will be until the 27th of June. Jupiter will be in your 6th house, so in Gemini. So it has been there for quite some time. It could mean many things. Jupiter in the 6th is nice to have. It's nice to for your work. Maybe you have more work than usual, or you will get more work than usual. You're going to be expansive when it comes to work, or you're going to find more meaning when it comes to your day-to-day work that you have to do, or your health. You're going to pay attention to your health. It's a good time. Still, from January till June, it's a good time to focus on your health, to improve it, to improve your health, to do the effort. And what else could be the case? Well, it certainly is finding more meaning in those day-to-day things that we have to do. It's a Virgo house. It's a house of, you know, solving all the little problems. And Capricorns are mostly very good at that, at solving little problems. They like to do, well, not all of them, but a lot of them do like that. So as from the end of June, this is going to shift, this Jupiter, which is a very positive planet, is going to shift into your 7th house. That is nice, especially with having Pluto with you. It suits very well, because a lot of Capricorns who are single will meet someone special and someone new into their lives. This Jupiter in the 7th house means it occurs every 12 years, so take advantage of it. Go out, meet other people. If you're single and you don't want to be single for the rest of your life, because a lot of your opportunity is coming in. And with Jupiter, I mean literally a lot. There could be more people crossing your path. And Jupiter in Cancer is in its exaltation, which shows that the people that you are going to encounter will be good people. And with the good people, I mean Jupiterian people, people who can be from abroad, people who can, or if they're not from abroad, people with a different cultural background, or a totally different background. But that gives you a bigger view, because Jupiter in the 7th means expansion, and also finding more meaning within relationships. When you are already in a relationship, I'll talk about that in a minute. But first, for the single ones. So that is good news. And it's an opening up of the heart, having Jupiter in your 7th house. It means that you're going to maybe encounter someone who's younger than you are. And it's going to be good. You're going to feel very good about that. It could also mean that on another level, if you were working one-to-one with people, so maybe you are in the, you're selling cars or whatever, you're selling something, or you're counseling with people, or you're a dentist, or whatever. If you work one-with-one, it's also very good for expansion in your clients. Clientele. It's also good for having that type of client, because these are nice clients, not the demanding ones, but nice clients who are positive, who are really even opening you up, and that's positive as well. If you are in a relationship already, it means that your relationship that you may have for years and years is going to get up a level. So it's going to be even more meaningful, and you're going to really not take it for granted for some kind of reason. So this is all very good news for the Capricorns, especially for the the last part of the year. Now, but what else? This Jupiter-Pluto that is going to meet each other in an opposition, so Jupiter in the 7th and Pluto in your sign around July, August, also means a challenge. But also, as I said, only, not also, but only if you were too focusing on your path, and if you were, because Pluto in your sign sometimes can mean that you are just heading your way and people can't follow with you. People really have difficulty to catch up with you. So that's the only advice that there is, to consider also the people that you are who are close to you, because you are changing so much. You will have to, or it's best for you if you want to stay with the people that you are living with, or the people who are important in your life, then you have to allow them to grow too, and to do it in their own pace. That's a bit the challenge that is going on. But for a lot of Capricorns, it means a fruition. It means an expansion when it comes to you and relationships. It means really growth. But as it is in an opposition, with of course this power struggle that can be going on, you want to take the power, and you're coming on too strong, basically. That's it. I know that a lot of Capricorns are not that way, but with Pluto in there, especially when it's on your ascendant, you really want to grow, and you just have to take into consideration other people. That's basically it. But expect expansion when it comes to you and your relationships one-to-one. So I'm not talking about friends, and I'm not talking about your parents or anything. It's really one-to-one, what I just mentioned. So that's really interesting. Now, another thing that is really interesting for Capricorns is Saturn in Scorpio, because it's Saturn is sextiling Pluto, and for a lot of months in the year, January, February, March and September. So there's a sextile between Saturn and Pluto. What does it mean? It's a mutual reception. So it means that Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn and Saturn is in the sign of Pluto for modern astrology. So it means these two are working together. It means that the discipline is working together with the power. So the change is working together with the effort that has to be taken, and it's very good for Capricorns. This all happens in your first house, but also considers your 11th house, which is your hopes, your aspirations, your goals on a long term, and to some extent it could be your friends. So it could be all that you are with a Saturn in the 11th house, that you're really clearing out all those friends that are no longer suiting you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just because you are changing so much that some people, and it's their right, that they say, hey, I'm not going that way with you. I'm not aligned anymore. There's nothing wrong with that. It would be wrong just to continue this difficult situation. So it could mean that you are really balancing out your friends, and you're encountering friends that are more serious, that are more Saturn-like, friends that are more encouraging you to change. Or it could mean, for a lot of Capricorns, that it has to do with your aspirations, it has to do with your goals, and you are going to materialize it, because this is an aspect of materializing, of making it happen through hard work. And I think most Capricorns, I do know some that don't like hard work, but most Capricorns like to feel responsible. It's good for them to take responsibility, and to take responsibility for their own life and for their own, their own business. And with having Saturn and Pluto working together, it shows again that for a lot of Capricorns, they are going to manifest in this world a lot. So not a lot just thinking about something, but no, really achieving your goals. is really by manifesting very powerful, and to put that focus and that concentration, which a lot of Capricorns can do very well. What else? The last planet is Neptune. I haven't talked about Neptune, and Neptune is for the whole year in Pisces, of course, and it's in your 3rd house. And Neptune can be a bit confusive in that 3rd house, which just shows that be aware that if you communicate, whether it is written communication or whether it is your speech, just be aware that you're as clear as possible. But I don't think for you as a Capricorn that would be a problem, because I think most Capricorns do have a structure in their communication and don't have difficulties with that. So I don't think that's going to be hard for you. It could also mean Neptune in the 3rd house on a positive level, that you are going to communicate in a more poetic way, perhaps, or that you're going to talk about Neptunian stuff, so about spirituality, or maybe about inspiration, creative endeavors. Are you going to, this is going to enter your mind as well. So that's also pretty beautiful, with all that very practical side of Saturn and Pluto. So I'm going to have a look if there is still something that I need to say for Capricorn. No, I don't really think so. I wish you all the best for 2013, you Capricorns, and see you soon. Bye.